Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. What you've just seen is basically I've taken the R32 to Volkswagen for a health check, and it's actually not as bad as I was expecting. There's a few things wrong with it, but overall they've said it's a very clean R32 and not to be too worried. It just has a few things that need fixing. So I'll run through this sheet of paper with you, and then we'll kind of discuss plans of fixing them. So quite a lot of it is yellow, so advisory. So that's basically suggesting that it needs to get done at some point kind of soon. But we'll start with the reds. So if you can see this, there's a nice list of things. And yes, there are two pieces of paper here, but one's just for the tires. So it's actually not too bad. So starting with the red stuff, we've got the headlamp washers don't come out and wash the headlights. I know, I coded that out because it was annoying me. Near side front bottom suspension arm bushing is split in half badly, requires changing. Brake fluid is due to get changed, and there is no history for brake fluid changes, so it's gonna get a brake fluid change as of immediately. Oh yeah, the front right tire, which is a brand new Michelin Pilot Sport 4, I think it's done about 1,000 miles, and it's worn so badly where basically I've gone over something and it's slashed the tire, and it's not slashed all of it so it's a puncture, it's just taken off a big chunk of the tread, so you can see some of the cord. I want different wheels. I'll probably want some 19s for it anyway, because we're gonna go, it's not the fastest thing in the world, I just wanted to drive a bit better and to look cool. So that does me. I don't drive it very often. I've got the BMW for all the miles. So for this, I'm going to go for more looks over performance, because trying to get silly power out of it just means you've got to have very deep pockets. It's not the kind of thing I want to do at the moment anyway, but in the future, who knows? Just not yet. So that's kind of the reds anyway. So three things: bushes, headlight washer, but I did that myself, and needs tires. So not too bad. We'll move on to the advisories, because there's more of them. Condensation in the outer rear lamps. I know that. It's another MK5 Golf thing. I had that on my other one. The inside of the near side front arch liner has a screw missing, so I imagine it's had the arches out at some point for God knows what reason, but you know, I need some screws for the arches. Not too bad. So here we go. This is a big one. This is the big chunky, this one. They recommend discs on the front, pads on the front, pads on the rear, discs on the rear, a new rear left caliper. The rear discs are worn and lipped. Near side brake binding excessively. Handbrake doesn't work that great, I know, so it needs a handbrake cable. So as a quick recap, because I went through that quite quick, front brakes, it needs discs, pads. Rear brakes needs discs, pads and a caliper, and it needs a handbrake cable. So get the brakes done. Oh, it needs brake fluid change as well, because apparently the people who have owned this in its previous life haven't given a shit about brake fluid. I was just like, yeah, you know, it's fine, it'll never go off, never go bad, but you know, you should change your brake fluid, because the brakes in this aren't the best. I'm going to do a driving video at some point to kind of go through all of the things I think about this car as it sits right now before I do any fixing, and then we're going to document what the changes actually do, because this car's got ruined bushes, the brakes are crap, but it's all serviceable parts, it's all things you can fix. So I want to see how much this car improves by, because I do love the car, it just doesn't drive as well as I think it kind of should, and this explains why. Moving on to some more advisories, we've got the exhaust system is unsecure and blowing in the center. That might be on me, because I fitted the exhaust on my back on my drive and there wasn't that much room, but I'm going to be taking it to a garage to get some of this stuff done soon. So while it's up in the air again, I will ask them to redo the center join of the catback. And the other advisory is the aircon system is overdue a regas, and there's no history for that either. And that's kind of really it, to be honest with you. What's going on here? So all of the tires bar the front right is good, and the front right needs replacing because it's got a massive chunk missing, and it's just bushes, brakes, brake fluid, aircon, tires, handbrake cable. And one thing they haven't spotted on this, because I guess I don't know how they didn't notice it, but they didn't. The bonnet opens if you accelerate hard, get to, say, the speed limit on a German motorway, and it will open itself. Not to the point where it flies open, although it has tried to. At the moment, it kind of stops when it gets to like the latch. So it's like a little hook latch, and it sits on that, and you can feel it juddering on that. So that's not great. So it needs a new latch as well. But I think overall we're actually not that far away from having a very clean, very tidy MK5 R32. So one other thing I do want to kind of comment on is, and what would you guys do for like the bushes and the brakes? Would you go big brake kit, or would you just replace it with OEM? For the bushes, would you get OEM rubber bushes again, or would you go for like a polybush suspension setup? For the brakes, would you go for, what pads would you go for? What discs would you go for? Tires, what would you recommend for an 18? I know people are going to say Michelin Pilot Sports, but is there anything else that's good? What upgraded parts would you do? Like, what would your picks be? That's what I'm kind of interested in. So drop a comment down below, or message me on Instagram what you do. I will reply and I will comment back. So definitely worth getting engaged down in the comment section. So guys, I think the next video for me is going to be a driving video, kind of explaining how the car drives, what it behaves like, and kind of document the process of putting it right. They've said it's quite a clean R32. It just has some parts which are serviceable parts you can get. It's not like it's a complete dead end. It's not bad. Just a few bits that I needed to get it back to being 100%. So I'm going to document what it drives like, what it feels like, and what the improvements are going to be like. So feel free to input on what you do to the car, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Laters.